It is working.
Okay, let me switch phones.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm going to put you back on speakerphone now. Okay, so we can finish up.
My battery is about gone.
All right. Are you okay now?
No, my phone was bad.
It's going to go dead?
No, I'm okay.
Oh, you're okay now?
Phone's okay. I'm not.
Oh, your battery. I'm getting tuckered out, too, but I thought maybe we could finish up the last, we were just talking about, in regards to the 84 through 80, oh, you mean you can keep going is what you're saying? All right, well, maybe we'll take a break, because I got some other things I need to finish up tonight. I'm almost done with Digital Dash Cluster Book, and, so goodbye, Ray. See ya. I'm sorry about that. We were talking about the compressor. We were just talking about the C68, the 84 through 89, and we went over all the different, the one thing about to the starter, you said the wire, there could be from the module. What was it? The blower module. The
module's got power. The blower doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Say the blower doesn't work. You got to make sure the module's got power. On the 84 and 85, the fuse links were all to starter. In 86, they went behind the battery on a stud. But the electronic air is the only fuse link that stayed at the starter, because otherwise they'd have to go all the way across the engine harness into the stud. So they just took it down and put it on a starter. But if you don't have, on that red wire, you don't have voltage, you won't have any blower. You may have burnt fuse link or something, It's on a fuse link.
Okay. And did we talk about the blower? We talked about the blower, right?
I guess.
I don't remember if we talked about the blower. I know we talked about...
Yeah, we went through the blower.
Yeah, we went through the bad blower. Did we go through a bad blower?
No, the blower is just checking for voltage on it.
Right. Okay.
If it's grounded and you got voltage going to it, it doesn't work, you got a bad blower.
How do you change a bad blower?
You take the screws out and pull it out and put another one in.
Okay. Easy stuff. So, but in regards to that module, blower module, will that go bad?
Yeah.
And what would be the symptoms?
Blower's not working, or the compressor's not engaging.
Okay. And so if the blower's not working, the module may very well be bad before the blower.
The blower module, it goes through that to the blower.
Yeah, so that if the blower's not working, it could be the module before it could be the blower. Okay. But if it's the blower, the module...
Put 12 volts to the blower module.
Okay.
And it blows, and it works. And that would indicate the motor's okay.
Mm-hmm. Hold on one second.
Everybody else go to sleep yet?
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so the rear defogger, fuses, compressor, blower, air comes out, codes, electronic manual. We went through all this stuff for 84 through 89. Any other troubleshooting symptoms that you could think of? Because you thought of that one about the blower module, about the short to the starter.
Well, it's a power supply.
The power supply for the module.
Not bad blower modules. I've seen several of them.
But it could be the power supply.
Well, yeah, if it burned fuse link or something, maybe if it shorted out or something, or you got against a manifold or starter or shorted out, you wouldn't have any power to the blower.
Okay. And how do you fix that?
Change another blower module.
The module, okay.
Some plugs. Got 3 7mm screws that hold it into the evaporator housing.
So is there anything else tied into the AC system here on the C68 troubleshooting?
Not on 89, 90. is a lot different.
1990, that's right. We're going to go through that later.
Is really a different world.
And we went through the codes.
On the AC.
Well, since we're going to go through this, let's just finish up real quick. AC troubleshooting, I have here the control head, no lights. You have AC inoperative, dead. Okay, so the first thing you do is you're going to check the courtesy fuse, the light fuse.
That's on electronic air.
On electronic air. And check 25 amp AC fuse, check 5 amp. And you're checking all this stuff with the voltmeter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Light dimmer signal wire not plugged into the radio jumper.
Yeah. You got a pigtail that comes off of the dimming circuit. It's a clock. It's a clock circuit. There's English metric wire, also from the control head to the driver information panel plug, going into the small one, going into the cluster. On electronic air, that when you push your dash to go to metric, it changes your control head into centigrade from Fahrenheit. And if that connector is not, pigtail is not plugged up, it won't change to metric. Now, believe it or not, I've had them change the metric switch on the driver information panel, and they say there's something wrong with their AC. It reads 16 degrees. 16 is 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And I said push the switch, on metric.
Okay, and that would be the symptom of in the control head, no lights, AC inoperative, dead. That could be the dimmer signal wire not plugged. No, that's just strictly English metric. If you push English metric and your display numbers don't go metric on temperature, then the wire's not connected. Okay. Because the AC troubleshooting, okay. Check cavity C2 and control head ignition power feed.
Yeah.
What are you checking it with?
Digital voltmeter.
Okay. And then is this the same for the battery feed?
Yeah.
Okay, and also the ground?
Yeah.
The digital ohm meter? And they're going to do these for what reason?
Why it doesn't light up.
Why it doesn't light up. No light. Okay, the control head's no lights. Got it. And so when they're checking all these...
There's also other things that can be involved with the control head.
Right. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down this here out of your book, but I'm just trying to figure out of the...
Lights go crazy on this. Look like a scanner on the digital readout.
Right. And
or what
comes out.
The control head goes off and on. What's causing that?
Well, let's just go back to the no lights right now first. When you're checking the ignition power feed and the battery feed in the ground with the ohms meter, how do you what is the purpose for that? Because there's no lights, I understand that, but then what are you looking for?
If you don't have voltage, it won't light up.
Okay, then what do you do?
If you have voltage and you got ground?
No, yeah, if it doesn't light up.
And you have voltage and grounds?
I don't know.
You got a bad control head.
Okay, this is just okay. Is there, and if you do have voltage?
I say, if you do have voltage, you got a bad control head.
Okay, and if you don't
have voltage, then you go back and find out, why don't I have a gauge fuse? Why don't I have a AC fuse?
Well, how do you do that?
You go back to the fuses.
Go back to the fuses.
Check the fuses.
Okay, that's what the first thing you're doing anyways, the courtesy light fuse.
Make sure that the dash is grounded to the dash ground.
Okay, so there's a ground.
The digital voltmeter and on an ohms resistance scale, it should be 0.01 ohms resistance if the ground's good.
And where is it grounded again?
Into the main dash harness.
Okay, and
well, no, there is an exception to this too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ground wire, separate ground wire from the AC control head that goes over to the left door pillar attached to the ground that the main dash ground is grounded to. It is electronic air ground. Now, the Bose, the Bose amp and the radio grounds on the right side. The left side is electronic air ground separate. So you want to make sure that ground, if it shows no good ground on the grounds, then you go to the left door pillar and check that ground and see if it's hooked up. It's a small gauge wire. It's not the big heavy black wire.
So it could be a ground then?
Yeah, on 90 they changed it to the right side, but it was on the left side there.
Okay, then the AC, can you think of any how-to presentations? How do you replace your control head?
You have to take your bezel off.
The same thing, we went through that.
Screws on each side, and you pull it out and unplug it.
Okay.
But there's another thing the control head does too. If it's intermittent, it flashes, electronic control head, and it flashes or goes off and on.
The light, you mean?
Or maybe not even come on.
Mm-hmm.
Would be the faceplate. If you take your shift plate back and your bezel off, and you got a little metal clip on each end of the face, and you take a little screwdriver and pull out a little metal clip off, that whole faceplate unplugs. You pull it out and it unplugs off of a board. It's a circuit board. You take a pencil eraser, and on the bottom edge of the circuit board, you clean it. Clean the contacts. They get oxidized. And this is probably the number one thing that would make a
control head
intermittently come off and on and flash.
So you clean it.
And you clean it with a pencil eraser, the contacts. And then you just slide your head back on, put your clips back on, and it'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And is that possible with no lights also?
Yeah.
So, okay, that would be one of the first things to do besides the fuses. The fuse would be the first.
If everything appeared to be good, take the head off and clean the board.
Got it.
It just may not be making contact.
Okay, and then put it back.
It'll act like a flasher sometimes. Scanner, the digital readout will go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It may go
and then if that's not it, then check all of your feeds. Right?
Yeah.
All right. The fuse, and then that light dimmer signal wire not plugged into the radio jumper could cause it. The control head, okay. So do you feel like going on some more, Gordon, or do you want to pick up?
The light dimmer wire is a gray wire that comes off the harness wire off of the headlight.
Okay, it's a gray wire.
It comes off of the instrument backlighting fuse.
So that's the light dimmer wire signal, and that's 84 to 89.
Yeah, it's a gray wire.
Is it possible that that's...
Your headlight switch, when you turn the park lights on and you turn the dimmer knob, it sends a signal out on the green wire. The green wire goes to the instrument fuse. The instrument fuse comes out and goes to your shift indicator, wiper switch, radio, AC control head, driver information panel, rear view mirror, and digital cluster.
Are you talking about this dimmer signal wire?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's where it goes to. And what it is, it's a variable voltage from 9 to 12 volts. When you turn the rheostat and you turn it to max 12 volts, it lightens the display on the radio, AC, all the others, and dims it down.
So the dimmer signal wire...
The symptom would be... if you turn your park lights on and you don't have backlighting on your radio, AC control head, or anything like that, first thing you check is the instrument fuse. the test, a real simple test for the instrument fuse is if you put your finger over the photo cell and turn your park lights on and the instrument dash does not light up, that means that you're not receiving a signal on the gray wire for a photo cell override.
Okay, now
Probably blown.
I want to stick with the AC right now.
That's his AC.
Oh, that is AC.
Fuse is tied in with everything. It'll affect your AC display. It affects your radio. Now you're
talking about the gray wire?
The backlighting was. If the fuse was bad.
Oh, if that fuse is bad.
If that fuse is bad, it's going to affect all them other components.
Right, but did you have it in here? Check 5 amp fuse on a evaporator, check 25
that's
amp?
The feedback. But the dimmer wire I'm talking about.
It's a fuse for that.
Yeah, instrument fuse.
Instrument fuse. That could be too. So they need to check the instrument fuse.
Well, that would just affect
the lighting of the control head.
Like your park lights would be on.
It has nothing to do with the air conditioning part of it.
Well, no, it's like the indicator buttons.
Right, the control head part.
Not the LCD screen.
Right.
The buttons.
The buttons.
LEDs.
The lights.
LEDs or light emitting diode. Those are your indicator buttons. Your digital LCD is a different circuit.
Hold on a second, Gordon. 1 sec, please. That's what I wanted to say.
Now,
I apologize,
you
Gordon.
get into the backlighting also. When you take that faceplate off, you got 3 bulbs on the back of the faceplate that can be replaced. They're
on the control head?
And the control head.
But you didn't even put that in here.
No. You could have all 3 bulbs out and you wouldn't have any backlighting when you turn your park lights on. The LCD screen would be okay.
Well, why do the park lights have to do with it? It does
That's
have
your backlighting for your indicator.
Oh, that's what turns them on, yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay, the LCD would still work, but the bulbs were burnt out. They're number 74 bulb, and you just replace the bulbs. It's a vanity mirror bulb also.
Okay, is there any other on the control head, no lights, AC inoperative?
No, all the LCD screen lighting.
AC inoperative, dead, on the control head, troubleshooting.
You don't know. You got to look to see, do you have a signal coming out to turn the AC on? When you push a control head on electronic here, you're sending a signal to the program. The programmer sends a signal out. That's a microprocessor. It goes to a serial data line.
Okay. And I'm just gonna finish up with the control head, no lights, AC inoperative, dead, troubleshooting possibilities, and then we'll do the
AC not
inoperative, dead.
Yeah, that's where you check power and grounds.
Right.
It's really not anything to do with the backlighting circuit.
Okay, got it. The reason I'm asking is because I'm going to ask you a few more questions about these, and then we'll take a break and have, some supper and whatever, and then maybe I'll give you a call back tonight, and I could finish up the AC troubleshooting for 84 to 89, because I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 more to go through with you. And then there's still quite a few letters that I could read through these and see if any of these symptoms, trigger anything. So I'm just going off of the 103 book right now.
Yeah.
So how-to presentations on check the fuses, that's easy, the dimmer signal wire not plugged. Okay, is it possible there could be an open in that gray wire?
If it was an open in it,
have you seen that?
Everything else on your dash would work, but it wouldn't.
But what wouldn't? The dimmer?
Backlighting on your dash wouldn't work.
Wouldn't work, okay.
Everything else would work.
And there could be there, so there could be an open.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have to just
You just wouldn't have voltage on that wire.
And so you have to redo the wire or repair the wire.
Yeah.
Control head not plugged into the IP wiring harness. How do you do that?
You just pull the control head out and make sure that it didn't jiggle loose and come loose. It's a single plug on the back side of it.
Okay.
Little fine pins. It's got the pins like the ECM has got.
Okay, and then
I have seen people monkey with wiring a radio, putting a radio in and out or something, make the connector get loose.
Okay. Is there any how-to presentations really for that? Control heads, no lights?
How to take that faceplate off and clean it and check the bulb.
Yeah, you gave me those, yep.
Yeah, and do that would be a good one because that is really a common thing.
Okay. That's pretty simple. I mean, you probably only need a couple photographs for that. Real easy.
Yeah, just a couple. You got to take your shift plate and pull it back and then take your 2 screws out on each side and just pull it up a little bit and take your clips off and
pull off the control head?
It's really easy to do.
That's how you pull off the control head?
Yeah.
Okay. And you clean all of the, with the eraser, you just, all the contacts.
On the bottom edge of the circuit board.
On the bottom edge of the circuit board.
You can unplug it and take it out on the bench if you want to, and it makes it easier.
Okay.
You can actually take the circuit board out of the box if you wanted to.
Oh, okay.
It's got 2 little tabs on each side and take the whole circuit board out.
Well, there's no reason to do that, though.
Well, no.
But it
that's
can't.
what I do. But,
And that's it? Just the eraser, and that's it? Clean out the crumbs?
You don't damage, with the eraser, you don't damage. It's a film contact in there, or it's a solder strip. You don't want to scrape on it with a knife or something because you break it.
Right.
So all you're doing is just cleaning oxidation off of the circuit board.
Okay. And real quick on the control head, no lights.
Now you got to specify what lights. No LCD lights.
Well, it just says control head, no lights, dash AC inoperative, dead.
Well, that would be power and grounds.
Power and grounds?
Yeah.
Well, I've gone through that in your digital dash cluster. No? No.
Not for AC.
Not for AC, power and grounds.
We've done covered that.
Right.
Checking for your ignition and your constant hot and your ground.
Well, is in regards to any special tools, products that we could promote, what about any other, I got the presentations, but the challenge questions, can you think of a couple real quick on these? I mean, it says no lights. I mean, do we need to go through?
First thing you do is, no, it's just a simple one. What's the first thing you do if you're outside? I mean, if your temperature display reads 16 on your display.
What?
Intermediate question.
What is it?
You got an English metric button, push the metric on your cluster.
That's a good one.
I have them. I've seen them.
Right? I bet you did. That's a good one. And then some more troubleshooting. Now, when we said control head, no lights, I mean, we need to go back into this, is what you're saying to me? Because there's different, depending on what.
Else, I'm saying.
We're just talking about the control head.
The backlighting, the buttons.
Right. Of the control head.
LEDs.
Of the control head.
Indicators, lights, and the LCD screen is tied together on power. But the backlighting is coming off the gray wire, like your defroster, heater, bi-level, the row of buttons, and the rear fogger and all that. That's the backlighting for the buttons.
And that's all we're talking about in the
AC? There's two different lighting circuits. So they're different.
But I meant right now we're talking
AC
about...
not working will come off of your LCD and your indicator lights on the faceplate. On the control head. The faceplate and the control head is the same thing, right? Yeah. Okay. So just the control head, because then it says no lights, and then you said, well, you were... go to power, grounds,
Right, and we talk about that control head, ignition, power feed.
And then, yeah, you got the ignition.
And the battery.
You got the ground. Yeah.
And then the control head plug ground.
And you got the AC fuse. You got the gauge circuit, 39 circuit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the ground.
Okay. The control head, any other questions? I mean, we should have some troubleshooting questions. I know that was a good, simple one about pushing the button. That was a good one.
Another one is taking a faceplate off and cleaning it. What would be the most...
Or how do you clean it, right?
Yeah, how do you stop the electronic control head from flashing intermittently off and on?
There you go.
The first thing to do is to take the faceplate off and clean it.
And what if that doesn't work?
You may have poor ground or power supply.
Okay. And then you just go back into the checking the control head or checking...
Yeah, loose connection on terminals or poor ground or poor power supply. Any of them would be intermittent will cause it to do that. But the most common thing, 95% of the time, is going to be that faceplate not clean.
Okay. Is there anything else you could think of? Any other questions or...
I start my car up and the outside temperature reads negative 38 degrees. What's the problem?
Well, I don't know.
And power has been disconnected. You have to run the car for 3 minutes with AC on before it'll read the right outside temperature reading.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an automatic thing?
Well, if you disconnect the power and it reverts to, it'll always come back at 75
Well, who disconnects the power and why would they do that?
Take the battery cable off.
Okay, fine.
Somebody might take the battery cable off, put it back on.
Okay.
It'll always put your AC at 75 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
That's a neutral temperature setting. But the outside temperature may read negative 38 degrees until
3 minutes.
3 minutes, or you drive, your temperature on the outside temperature will change after you drove 25 miles an hour for a minute and a half or 35 miles an hour for 3 minutes. And then it does an upgrade and reads the correct temperature so you don't get false readings. But you may see the temperature change when you first get in the car.
Where do you find that information?
Service manual.
In the negative 38, okay.
But the display reverting to 75 means the power of your going
You mean 74?
Huh?
You said 74, I
75.
thought. Oh, 75?
The 75 degrees is a neutral position. It'll always go back to 75, even if you had a preset and everything. If the power, if you'd say you took the battery cable off for some reason, it will go back to 75 degrees, and then you have to change it.
And the control head, no lights, that's 84 to 89, right?
No, 86 to 89.
Got it.
Control head.
Just making sure.
Yeah. Well, the control head, backlighting, you don't have a digital display on manual. You've got lights that come on, and you got a blower knob, and you got backlighting that comes on with the headlights, and you got a rear defogger. You don't have digital numbers for nothing.
Okay. Well, I'm going to finish up the rest of this later unless you could think of something else.
Well, it's just as long as they're aware of the temperature changing after you drive it.
That happens.
Well, it was designed that way so you don't get false readings.
Okay.
But that you really would. You might just want to put it rather than explain all that. Just might put after you drive your vehicle, you may see an accurate temperature, outside temperature display. It may not be accurate until you drive a little while because it has airflow across the sensor. say it's hot asphalt, and you get out in the car, and you get in the car, you turn the key on, and it says the outside temperature is 150 degrees, and you drive it, and it says it's 80. Because it's got airflow flowing across it. So you may see the temperature change when you for a few minutes
the question would be something.
That would be a normal thing.
It's normal, yeah. So the question is, my temperature's not reading accurate.
Yeah, the temperature's not reading accurate, and then they see this, and then they say, well, sometimes it does. Well, yeah, if you drive it a little while, it will. But when you first get in it, it may not.
Right.
Because you got to look at where it's at.
Right. Where it's
you're up by the radiator on a hot day, and it doesn't have airflow coming across it. And that's just not a Corvette. That's a lot of cars.
Oh, sure, I can see that. But still, somebody might be wondering.
No, I got questions like that before.
Right. All right. So another question would be, how long does it take for the Corvette to read an accurate outside temperature?
I'd say driving 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
I won't get into conditions too much on it, but just...
No, I meant for a challenge question.
It would just be, you have to drive it and let airflow come across the sensor before you really get an accurate reading.
There you go. I could change it into something like that. Well, I still got a ton of work to do tonight. If you think of anything else, just jot it down and we'll go back to it. Because we're going to take up tomorrow. I'm going to call you. Again, I'm probably going to be calling you every day, Gordon.
Okay.
And it's going to be...
What time you call, no?
Well, no, I'll call, and then you call me back. But I know you got.
Tomorrow.
Okay, what time's that?
Let's see.
Do you know what time it is?
Well, I got to get my bridge put in.
Right, but I want to try to maybe call you before that.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna see what.
Is that what you don't have to?
April.
No, is it April already?
Monday.
It's the 3rd.
March, part change from Monday, March 20th. That ain't right.
It's the 20th. It's the 30th.
Yeah, I got a Monday, March 16th, April 1st.
No, March 30th is Monday.
Well, maybe I don't have an appointment. Maybe it says April 1st.
Oh, that's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could probably do again in the, I'd say probably close to like 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Is that good?
More? Okay.
Yeah, and that way we'll talk for a couple more hours and get through the rest of the AC troubleshooting on the 84 to 89.
Well, we should be able to do that.
Well, yeah, I hope so, and then we can get through all the rest of these letters, and that way I can hopefully have enough information to do fault trees and PowerPoint presentations, and, we'll polish it off, I'm sure.
AC, or are you getting into heat? Well, we're heater, too.
Yeah, we will.
What about the heater core?
Yeah, we will. I got the whole file on AC and heater, and it's pretty, I still haven't gotten into a lot of it yet, so it's still pretty thick. It wasn't like the airbag. The airbag was short in comparison. I thought it was going to be much longer. But when you...
Major problems with it, that's just a certain thing.
Yep. So, all right, well then, if that's okay with you, because I'm going to try to still work and finish up some other things tonight, so...
Did Jason give up on us?
No, I think, Gordon, I'm probably going to be the one person you're...
No, I mean today.
No, he's here.
Okay.
No, he's...
Just wake him up. Actually,
Jason has agreed to put Vet to Vet kind of on the back burner and go full board on this because...
Did he understand everything I was talking about?
I don't know. He will when it's all done, I'm sure. But now I'm going to take the phone call and dissect it into tasks is what I'm going to do for Jason. So
I've been writing down, these procedures. Just, I'll give you an idea of what I've been doing.
If Chris said you had a tape recorder, you can even tape record.
Yeah, what tape do you use?
I told her the large one. I would actually prefer maybe sometime instead of you just doing it when you're ready to do the recordings, I could just do the phone record over the phone. You could just record.
I could just read this letter over to you over the phone.
Right, exactly.
Just written.
What I'll do is I'll just like kind of set the phone down, and then you could just read them into the phone, and then when you're done, you can just hang up, and it'll stop recording.
I've done all the 80s.
Do you want to do that now?
Well,
it's up to you. You could do them now, or you can keep working on them, or...
Then I've got these other sheets. The other sheets is,
what have you done so far?
Oh, man, I got a whole bunch of stuff. Use of, honest water left.
Are you talking about the relays and modules?
No, I've just got...
well, let's wait for those categories. Because, and you just keep, is there anything...
I've done a whole stack of other stuff on procedures, on questions and stuff.
Right, and if there's anything that has to do with the AC and the heating, you got to pull them out of that stack and be prepared for our next phone call, and we'll work them into the recording.
The only thing I got is let's see, electronic air conditioning rear defogger relay, part number 160423336.
Okay.
All 86 had C.
Do you want to read them now or no?
Well, no, I mean, this is just a whole fault of how you access it and change it.
Perfect.
Not a troubleshooting.
That's perfect.
But how do you access and change it?
Do you want to do that one now? Because if it falls in this category, now would be the time to do it.
Yeah.
I want to try to keep all the categories together because I can't do it otherwise. It's too much bouncing around. So.
Well, the relays you should have a section on relays, but
no, we will have a section on relays, but this is going to apply to a lot probably.
Okay, this is 1980.
Hey, Gordon, hold on a second. I'm gonna set the phone down because I got to go talk to Maria. When you're finished, just hang up the phone, okay? This is a procedure, right, on the relays?
This is electronic air conditioning.
Any air conditioning or heating, and you can go ahead and just talk the procedure right into the recording because it's recording, and in like maybe 20 minutes I'm going to be calling back to talk to Chris.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay with you?
Let's see, I got the AC here. I'll get that.
And we can add more to tomorrow's AC troubleshooting and heating troubleshooting too. But I hope you don't mind me abandoning you right now, but I got to...
headlight relays.
No, we'll do those when we get to those sections.
Doors.
You know what, Gordon?
Hatch glass. Coolant fan, fuel pump.
Why don't we just do a whole thing on relays?
That's what I was doing.
Okay, no, I meant the recording. Let's just not,
I got on relays.
I thought you meant that you had other things that you've been writing down that have nothing to do with relays.
But this is what I've been doing, is just relays.
That's good, the how-to procedures. So we'll do a whole recording.
How do you access them and change them?
Okay, we're going to do a whole recording just on that, all by itself.
Number.
Okay, cool. And then, but is there anything for tomorrow, when I call you tomorrow at 1 o'clock, if you have any...
I've got two procedures here on one AC heater fan relay.
Okay, now...
The other one's electronic air conditioner rear defogger relay.
Okay, good. But I don't want to do the... We could do those, but then if you said you had a stack of other stuff you've been writing down as you think of it. If there's anything that has to do with heating or air and not relays or modules, make sure you have it with you tomorrow and separate it out. Well, separate it out of the stack so we can keep it within the category that we're working on.
I already have it done.
All right, cool. Well, then we'll do that tomorrow then.
So I got this whole stack of relay information.
Okay, do you want to do the AC relay right now, those two?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to set the phone down. When you're done, just hang up and tell Chris I'll be calling her back in a few. Okay, I'm just setting it down. All right, good talking to you.
C68 electronic air conditioning rear defogger relay, part number 160423336. All 86 convertibles had C60 manual AC with no rear defogger or heated mirrors. To access the rear defogger relay, open the driver's door and move the seat back. Move 3 7mm screws holding the lower light panel to the dash. Remove the split washer holding the front center of the panel to the firewall. Drop the panel and unplug the light. Set the panel to the side. Using a flashlight, look above the accelerator pedal for a black module with vacuum hoses going into it. This is the AC programmer. The 86 relay is taped to the harness wire going to the programmer. The 87 through 89 relay is attached to the programmer with 1/7 millimeter screw. Defroster relay is about 1 inch square in aluminum in color. Reassemble the panel and make sure you plug the light back up. Now that's for the electronic air. The 1984 through 89 AC heater fan relay, C60 manual AC. That's part number 100-19535 or 140-52392. To access the relay, open the hood and look below the AC fan motor and the AC evaporator casing at the right rear of the engine compartment. The connector is attached to the heater casing. You can reach down and pull up on the lock tab and release the relay from the connector. The relay is also called a high-speed fan relay. So that's the ones related to the AC. I think that's it. I have Chris Coyle.